beyond the freezing winds of the Arctic, hidden beneath layers of eternal ice, lies a secret that could rewrite human history. For centuries, legends have spoken of Hyperborea, a lost continent where the sun never sets and death is unknown. While modern science calls it a myth, ancient traditions from Greece to India insist it was the cradle of all civilization. Why did the greatest minds of antiquity, like Herodotus and Pliny, describe this land with such chilling detail? They spoke of a paradise where people lived for 1,000 years in perfect harmony. Was it just a poetic dream? Or are we standing on the frozen roof of our true home? Today, we begin our journey to the top of the world to find what has been erased from our memory. The ice is melting, and the truth is beginning to breathe. How can you map a land that is supposed to be buried under miles of ice? In 1595, Gerardus Mercator, the man who gave us our modern world map, published a shocking chart of the North Pole. It didn't show a frozen wasteland. Instead, it depicted 4 massive islands divided by great rivers, with a colossal black mountain at the very center. Where did Mercator get this information? He claimed to have seen even older maps, dating back to a time when the pole was green and fertile. Even more mysterious is the Piri Reis map, showing an ice-free coastline of Antarctica. These documents suggest that someone was surveying our planet thousands of years before the invention of the compass. Someone who knew the Earth before the Great Freeze. If the maps are real, then everything we know about the timeline of humanity is wrong. It sounds like science fiction. Palm trees and lush forests in the middle of the Arctic Circle. But science is starting to catch up with the myths. Recent core samples from the Arctic Ocean floor have revealed remains of tropical plants and ancient pollen. Thousands of years ago, the North Pole had a climate similar to modern-day Florida or southern Europe. This wasn't a slow change. It was a sudden, violent shift in the Earth's axis. Hyperborea wasn't a land of ice. It was a land of eternal spring. Ancient texts describe the land of the sun, where the climate was controlled by a mysterious force. If the North was once a paradise, what happened to the people who lived there? Did they vanish, or did they go somewhere where the cold couldn't reach them? The answers are locked in the permafrost. At the exact center of the North Pole, ancient legends place a mystical mountain called Meru. It was described as a massive pillar of black stone, reaching toward the stars. Ancient Sanskrit texts call it the Axis Mundi, the center of the universe. Interestingly, modern science confirms that the North Pole is a unique magnetic anomaly. Is it possible that Mount Meru was not just a mountain, but a colossal ancient machine? A magnetic transmitter that stabilized the Earth's rotation? Tibetan monks and Nordic shamans believe this mountain still exists, hidden by a dimensional veil, or buried deep beneath the Arctic seabed. It is said that whoever controls the frequency of Meru controls the energy of the entire planet. We are searching for a mountain that shouldn't be there, yet it pulls at the compass of our souls. The Hyperboreans were not primitive tribes. They were masters of light and sound. Legends say they didn't use fire or steam. Instead, they harnessed the vril, a mysterious life force energy that flows through the Earth's magnetic grid. Their cities were built of translucent crystal that resonated with specific frequencies to heal the body and sharpen the mind. They flew in chariots of fire that moved without wings, powered by the very air they breathed. This is why ancient Greeks believed the god Apollo visited Hyperborea every 19 years to renew his power. Could these gods have been survivors of an even older, high-tech civilization? We find traces of this technology in the megaliths of the north, stones so large they could only be moved by sound. Their legacy is not in tools, but in the harmony of nature and frequency. Why did paradise turn into a frozen grave? Around 12,000 years ago, a global catastrophe struck the Earth. Some call it the Younger Dryas impact. Others call it the Great Flood. In a matter of hours, the tropical paradise of Hyperborea was blasted by sub-zero winds. The Earth shifted on its axis, and the North Pole moved from a land of sun to a land of darkness. The survivors had to flee. Ancient myths tell of a mass migration from the north toward the south, carrying the seeds of civilization to Egypt, Sumer, and the Americas. This is why the same sacred symbols and pyramid designs appear all over the world. They are all fragments of a single, lost northern source. Hyperborea didn't just die. It was scattered across the globe, waiting to be remembered. Hyperborea is not just a place in the past. It lives inside you. Geneticists have discovered a mysterious ghost DNA in certain populations that doesn't match any known human ancestor. There is a specific lineage that carries a high resistance to extreme conditions and a unique brain structure. Could this be the biological signature of the Hyperboreans? In many ancient cultures, the blue-blooded, or the shining ones, were said to be the direct descendants of the northern giants. Today, we see traces of their wisdom in our deepest intuitions, a strange nostalgia for a land we've never seen. We are a species with amnesia, carrying the blueprints of a golden age in our very cells. When we look toward the north, we aren't looking at ice. We are looking at our own reflection. The clock is ticking for the Arctic. As the glaciers recede at an unprecedented rate, things are emerging from the ice that were never meant to be seen. Strange structures, unknown metals, and perfectly preserved remains are being reported by secret military outposts. Are we ready for what's coming? The melting of the North is not just an environmental crisis, it is a spiritual awakening. The cycle is closing. The legends say that Hyperborea will rise again when humanity is ready to reclaim its lost heritage. But the question remains, will we use this knowledge to heal the world, or will we repeat the mistakes of the past? The sun is rising over the north once more. Thank you for watching this journey. The truth is no longer frozen. Subscribe and stay tuned for the next revelation.